Okay, what we're going to do here is walk through a progression from the AI Dev Gallery, which you can download in the Windows Store as an app that runs AI APIs and models in Windows on Copilot Plus PCs. We're going to take a look at a sample in here on RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. We're going to take that sample, we're going to export it out into Visual Studio. We'll show how it works there, and then we will show how you can then take that and use it in your applications. In this case, we're going to run it on an edge only application, no cloud needed. We'll include some agentic AI that will essentially anticipate some of the questions that we're going to ask. And then from there, we're going to go into creating a hybrid application that uses both edge and cloud, in this case, Azure OpenAI. And we will determine where the inferencing happens based on business logic that we'll include as part of that. So here we are in the AI Dev Gallery. And you can see that there are lots of different samples that are available here. As I said, we're going to focus in on one specifically, which is Retrieval Augmented Generation. And as we bring this up, we can do a couple of things here. Number one is we're going to pick the small language model that we want to use for this. In this case, we're going to use the state-of-the-art one that is developed specifically for Copilot Plus NPUs, but you can also go and pull from Foundry Local, which gives you access to the model catalog. You can pull from OpenAI. You can use Onyx, but we want to use the one that is optimized for the NPU. And then we can also set the execution provider policy here and set it as to exactly what we want to do. Here we're just going to leave it at the default, but I can make it max performance. I can make it focus on the GPU, so on and so forth. So here we are, we're pulling in PDF into this sample, and we are going to essentially make the small language model PhiSilica smarter by injecting some specific data from this PDF. So I'm going to ask it a very specific question here on some HR policies, an HR policy document that got uploaded. And you can see not only does it give us an answer, you can see it here running on the NPU, so the AI chip on the device. And it also is using the All Mini LM model to show us pictures of where the pages are in the documents for reference. So in this case, we're going to export this sample, and I've dropped it out into my samples here. And if I go and click on this sample that I just pulled out of Windows AI Foundry, we'll bring it up here in Visual Studio. You can see that it's got the Retrieval Augmented Generation one. And if we go ahead and just run this, you'll see that it is the exact same thing. Obviously, it doesn't have the pretty framework around it, but it has the bones that we need to be able to go do this. Because what we're going to do is we're then going to take this foundation and we're going to put it into an application that we can run locally on a Copilot Plus PC without any cloud connectivity. So here we're just doing the exact same thing. We're showing a little bit about what's searchable, exact same thing we just searched on. Gives us the exact same references and interesting that, again, we're using the NPU as the way to do this in the most powerful and efficient way. So then if we go from here, and we'll close this out, we have the PDF Explorer application that we developed in partnership with Technicos, who's an ISV of ours. I'm going to pull in the exact same document, and you can see a few things here. One is that I've elected to use PhiSilica for this. I can use speech as the driver for this, so it's multimodal, or I can use text. And I'm going to ask the exact same question here. We're using the same document, but now I've pulled it out and put it into an actual application. You can see we have source pages that are available. These look very familiar. And you can see that it's running on the NPU as it gives me information back about this. Now, where the agentic piece comes into this is after it's done giving me the answer that I'm looking for, and again, you can see on the left that it's actively using the NPU to drive this, it's going to anticipate the questions that I might want to ask next. and it will learn from this as we go. Obviously, if I type something in different than this, it knows that I didn't like any of those. So it's using some agentic qualities to anticipate what my next question or set of questions might be. Absolutely phenomenal. And again, not cloud connected at all as we run this. So now we want to take this idea of a model running on a Copilot Plus PC and take it kind of to the next level. And that means creating an application that is not only able to run on the device using the local small language model, but we want to also incorporate Azure OpenAI from the cloud to do this. And the way that we're going to do this is a couple ways. So let's just ask it a general question here. And we included a green bubble there so you can see that this is using the cloud. It says there that it's Azure OpenAI. And we've included some business logic into this to say anytime that you see a string of numbers, assume that it is PII data and it is needs to be private. So let's not send that to the cloud. Let's leave that on the device. And we'll bring up the NPU so you can see. So again, right now we're just running on Azure OpenAI. But in this case, I'm going to include an actual string of numbers. And again, remember, we just said if we see a string of numbers in this, I want you to treat it as confidential and process that locally. And so in this case, we're using that business logic to use the local SLM. We're not going back to the cloud. You can see the NPU is lit up as we go through this. And so now it can bounce, create this hybrid loop between the cloud and the Copilot Plus PC in order to fulfill some business needs and outcomes. So again, just a general question, we bounce back. The other one that we included in this is latency. Because this is a real-time application, we don't want latency in this. And so we put in a parameter that says if latency exceeds a certain threshold, we want to stay on the device. Now, in this case, we're going to use the VPN to create that latency. And I just ask it a general question, same as before, nothing specific, just what else is in the order. But because of that latency, that business logic, it stayed local and used the NPU and the small language model on that device. So that just gives you a little bit of a view into what's capable with Copilot Plus PCs and Azure OpenAI in creating hybrid scenarios.